This week on the show, we're featuring champagne quartz, Chalcedon under the microscope cam, cherry juice on why'd I buy that, and 5 new jokes. Exposure to the following may cause optimism. If Santa raises reindeer, does that make him a jolly rancher? Let's start the show. This is a nice little natural quartz point. It's got some smokiness in it. Pretty much I was just going to smooth it over and double the ends. Make it sort of a Legend of Zelda rupee shape. Gave me some guff though. Man, it's got some hard spots. It was really hard to even out the back, and then it was really hard to even out the side. Notice how it's got a different thickness to it. Like it's thicker at the bottom than it is up toward the top, and so getting these sides in the front was a little troublesome. But I think we got her pretty close by hand. Close enough for the photo. And it's a photo finish too. Finally got to the show. That's not a saw mark. That's part of the natural formation. That little slit on the back side there. I think this is one of the last videos I started from this angle. I don't really like this angle. I think I like the 45-degree angle better. That's how I look at the wheel. I don't really look at the wheel this way. I was thinking it might be a better view, but I really should get a GoPro. Might be a little more pro of a way to go. How's it going, Mr. Weasley? Welcome to the show. Hope you're having a fine start to a fine week. And Thomas made it. How's it going, Thomas? Philly, it's 10:30. Oh, I know. I'm an hour and a half late for a half-an-hour show. I was actually asleep. I was so tired. I actually laid down and took a nap. And I woke up, sort of, if you want to call it that, about an hour ago. Not even, or no, about a half an hour ago. I started getting the show ready at like 8:50, or 10:50, or 9:50, or 11:50, whichever one it is, somewhere in there, like 40 minutes ago. But at least we're doing it. Better late than never, right? Sunny Gemstones made it. How's it going, Sunny? Sent Sunny a package. We're gonna do a little unboxing over there. Have to give you all a preview when it's all ready, and then you can go over to his channel and check it out. Actually got some footage for another unboxing. Gonna do a ninja sword unboxing for my nunchucks. That's right, I bought some nunchucks. I bought matching nunchucks. I got 2 pair. Totally got a video of me using them. Totally clocked myself in the wrist. Twice. In the same spot. Nunchucks are not a toy. Yes, I know there's no blade on it that slices you, but gee whiz, it freaking shocked my bone. My hand went numb, and I waited, and then I started using them again, and then I hit myself again, and then I was like, oh man, I could barely use my wrist, and that was 2 days ago. But we're back, and apparently my other wrist still allows me to raise my glass. From me to you. Cheers. Dropping your box in the mail tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Sonny Gemstones. He's going to send me a box, and we're going to do a Ninja Sword unboxing of that. And I sent him a box, so he's going to do an unboxing of that. And your box includes some sunstone, too. I had to send some sunstone. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. What do you call it when two carbons are in a relationship? Let's see. Carbons. Carbons. Two carbs. Probably something that's gonna put a lot of extra weight on me. You know, eating them carbs. I'll put them carbs on. Especially if they're carbons. Colette S made it. How's it going, Colette? Cheers. Glad you were able to make it to the show. Not a lot of content this week. Let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, I sent, Sonny, I sent you some plant food. I was going to show that plant food video. Let's see if I can pull that up. Kind of a how to use this plant food stuff. And you might not even have any plants, but in case you do, in case you got, let's see, what do I say when people call? Let's see, when people call about car insurance or about a hotel room or something like that, when I get one of those automated calls and it's like, please wait while we tell you, and then I push the button and then somebody comes on and they're like, hello, and I'm like, this is 22 Gemstones Plant Food. Do you grow plants or know someone who does? Are you interested in the latest in plant food technology? Check out 22 Gemstones Plant Food on Amazon Prime. And that's usually about as far as I get into the pitch before they hang up. But, you know, lets me practice my sales pitch, right? I was actually looking at the bottle earlier, and I think I need white text. Because I can't read it. I can't read it. I don't know what this says. I can pretty much see the two, but I don't know what this says. I can't read it. I can't even read it that far away, you know. I gotta get it really close. So if I had white lettering, it might stand out more, and, you know, then it would say plant food. So maybe that would be a good way to fix the front labeling. Okay, I got the video. Just need to decide on when we're gonna show it. Because right now we're working on the champagne quartz. Quartz is a very hard gem. I mean, it does not polish easily. It's almost like it needs a dry polish. Sort of like you're trying to melt the glassiness of it. It polishes pretty good with sandpaper, I will say that much. Some gems don't want to polish with sandpaper, especially like the sapphire or the ruby. They'll smooth that sandpaper right over. Won't even make a dent in it. I mean, I've used 400 grit sandpaper on this sapphire. Didn't even dent it. Just smooth that sandpaper right over, as smooth as paper. It's like I'm just, you know, using a razor to shave it off, except for the razor would actually get dull. Not sure how I'm going to smooth that sapphire. Maybe I'll use my 3000 lap and actually get some use out of it. Because I typically I finish my gems with 1000 grit diamond lap, which is that disc you see me sanding on. And I got 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, tried them all. They don't really do a whole lot. So I don't use them. What I did is I took the lap and I flipped it over backwards and I put they call it PSA, pressure sensitive adhesive disc of regular cerium oxide sandpaper. And sometimes I'll use that to polish, but even then it's touch and go, because you put the stone on there and it's like smoothed over, done. Then you got to scrape it all off and get all the adhesive off, otherwise it makes lumpy spots. And the lumpy spots, when they go around and it's like lumpy and you put the stone on there, it makes it makes the flat part of the facet, it makes it kind of rounded over. So that doesn't really work out too well. I've been meaning to grow these seeds I've been saving. Oh, great. I sent you a Smokey that I cut poorly on the wheels. Oh, cool. That's exciting, man. I'm excited. Hey, thanks for sending me something. I'm always excited to get stuff in the mail. Gives me a reason to go to the mailbox. Makes me feel like it's actually worthwhile having a P.O. box. You know, I got the P.O. box for the show, and it's like, well, that's where I get my mail. But the only thing I ever get are bills and advertisements. You know, it's like, hey, resident or other or P.O. box customer. And I'm like, oh, they can't even address it to me personally. And then I got this big bulk of paper in my. Usually I leave it in the mailbox, but you know what am I supposed to do with it? I got to take it out, put it in my car, throw it away. It just seems like such a nonsense. Oh, I missed the joke. Oh, no, okay. Let me go back. Your salsa is very hot. Hot? Did I send you some salsa, Ron? It shouldn't be hot. It should be like heatless salsa. I mean, this last year's salsa didn't have any heat. The previous year's salsa had a little bit of heat to it. Maybe letting it sit gave it some extra heat. Either way, I appreciate the compliment, Ron. I hope you liked it. It's a unique salsa. I don't use cilantro, which is where a lot of the flavor in salsa comes from. It's pretty much you know, tomato gloop with some pepper, and then it's got some cilantro in there. But this salsa, the only things that I don't make with that, the only things I put in my salsa that I don't make are the vinegar and the salt. That's not salt. That's just salt that I bought. But everything else, stuff that I grew, the onions, the garlic, yep, grew it right out of the garden using the 22 Gemstones Plant Food recipe. Let's see. Okay, let me read the joke. What do you call it when two carbons are in a relationship? It's the carbs that go on to my love handles, right? The carbs are on. Carbon dating. What do you call it when two carbons are in a relationship? Carbon dating. That's a classic one, Thomas. Thanks for coming by, man. I did miss the joke, but I got it. I actually got back to it. That's one of the problems, is staying with the chat. Need to stay with the chat, brain. Brain power. Okay, what do we got next? I've been meaning to grow seeds. Sent you Smokey Quartz. Hello, you missed the joke. Carbon dating. Got it. Okay. Slabbed a bunch of turquoise today. Also sent you some sunstone. Oh, dude, that's exciting. That's exciting, because where is that sunstone that I got from? I'm not even sure if I have. I'm not even sure if I'd be able to find. I think it's Mozambique's sunstone. It's not Oregon sunstone. And it's very orangey. But I hope you can make something out of it. I wasn't like, when I picked out your stuff, Sonny, I was like, I didn't want to go through the box and pick out anything in particular. I was like, open the box, grab a piece, close the box. And I put it all in a little care package. And I put some small things, I put some bigger things. And then I put it all in the box and sent it in the mail. Hopefully, and then we'll kind of get a feel for what you like, and then I'll send you, like, I didn't send any striped amethyst, I didn't send any rose quartz. There's a lot of other things I should have put in that box and I didn't really get around to, so I'm going to have to do that when I send some Mississippi limestone and some shells. Because the shells are really beautiful. I should work with some shells. It's like, you know, you can make a backing or like a big round pendenty thing is what I was thinking. And it looks kind of pearly. I think a lot of this quartz is so hard. excuse me, I think a lot of what I did when I was shaping it is work with a Warren 100 grit. I might have actually started with the 60 grit when I got going. Most of it's the Warren 100, and then I smooth it out with the 240. And I need to actually switch to my newer 240. I go through 240s and 1000 grit lap discs pretty quick, because I like a sharp one. It gives me a nicer edge. And that's part of the problem that I ran into with this stone, is that the 240 wouldn't cut it. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the facet against the 240 and I'll push on it, to turn it, to kind of eat this side down, and it hits a hard spot and it turns on me. And so then I get two facets on one part, and that's why the top of it wound up being like it is. Ah, Eli Family 1983. Dude, I missed your comment from like 4 minutes ago. Sheesh. How's it going? Ron Weasley. No, nobody hates you, Eli. I'm sure he doesn't. He's just hanging out over here talking, chatting. Came by to say hello. I don't imagine Ron hates anybody. It's all love over here. We're charging you up for a good week. You got the power to make it a good week, dude. This is going to be a good week. And if not, there's always next week. We're going to try again and again every day to make it a great one. And you're a great one. You have the power to do so. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for coming by the show. What do you call it when two carbons are in a relationship? Probably carbon division. I don't know. Actually, maybe it's carbon marriage? Wedding bells? That'd be nice to see. Like pulling teeth, or like a pulling a tooth. You mean the quartz? Because actually, this quartz kind of looks like a tooth. I was thinking about making some... I was like, I wonder if I could shape myself some gemstone dentures. Because they are hard. Some of these things are really hard, like this Chalcedon. And Chalcedon is a form of quartz. It's not organized into a quartz point necessarily. And we'll kind of look at that under the microscope cam here. Let's go ahead and get into it. We got to get through this show. I'm already 15 minutes into a half an hour show? Not going to have any time left for the jokes. That's alright. You guys made it here. You made it to the show. Gave me a chance to wish you well. Ron's reminding me that I need to fire up the chat bot. Let's do that. There's the chat bot, baby. I don't know about the chat bot, like the Streamlabs chat bot. That thing hasn't fired up for 3 or 4 weeks. Used to be, we had a chat bot in Streamlabs. We got the Streamlabs chatbot, which is a different chatbot. That's my YouTube administrator chatbot. Maybe they got rid of the chatbot. I don't see it. We're gonna have to look into that. That's a shame, because I had the two chatbots working together. They could talk to each other. They didn't get along very well. But that's because they never worked together. We were trying to get them to work together. Like the co-host bot. Kind of like my show. Trying to get it to work together. There we go. The chat bots are working, baby. Alright, this is a good example of dual facets. I was trying to tilt the one facet over, and I wound up getting this second facet. I was trying to push it in, and it wound up going like that. And the problem is, you can see long ways, it also went like that on me. And so I had to eat all of it hard to the inside to get rid of that. And I should have pulled out the new 240 I got, the new 240 grit lap. But the problem then is when I put the quartz on that new 240, it just sucks it on there. It's like a vacuum. It grabs it and pulls down, and sometimes it'll actually turn the stone. And so I usually don't like to use quartz on a fresh lap. I like to break it in with something softer like a peridot. I'm gonna activate the webcam, microscope cam. Where are we at? Microscope. I'm still groggy. I think that's my problem. Still groggy. Trying to do the show anyways. Love you all. Thanks for coming by. This is the last piece of footage that we have for this stove. It's about 8 minutes. You see me trying to finish it up in 8 minutes. You see me trying to even out those edges. Yeesh. Okay. An Oregon and an Indian sunstone. I also have a few lattice sunstones from Australia. Oh wow, that's cool. Dude, we're growing your sunstone collection. That's awesome. That's so cool. You know, Thomas, my problem, if pulling a tooth, you're talking about the chat and your joke. I love your joke, by the way. I love you being here. My problem with the chat is that I get so sidetracked. I get sidetracked trying to come up with something to do because my brain's doing like 10 other things at once, and that's one of the problems. Sometimes I try to train my brain to do 2 things at once, and I think that's a problem when it comes to doing the show, because then I'm doing like 2 things at once. Like trying to get this camera working and show this under the microscope. I need a crew. I think we actually mathed it out. I need a crew of like 8 people to run the show. Okay. So we'll set that guy down. How are we focus-wise? Can we zoom in? No, not much. Not out. That's about what we got for focus. Alright, so basically, I got that little line in the back, and I kind of like that because it changes the color on these side facets. And I kind of want to blow out the side facets so they get a little bit bigger. And I actually wanted this top facet to be a little bit bigger, but grinding in those side facets, it caused problems trying to do that. And then it comes back to these little corner facets here, and I was like, I need to get those evened out so that we got a more even top facet. And so I was like, well, maybe we could even them out after I grind the top down. So I might work on this gem a little bit more. Not sure. It's got some problems inside of it, some inclusions, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy with it the way it is. It's a nice little gem. And one thing, trying to grind out the sides and keep them even, is also grinding out the back. Getting that line on the back side to be even, that's a hassle. I wound up dealing with that a few different times. Trying to get this line across the back to be straight. I think I did a pretty good job getting it straight. It almost gives a better flare from the backside, doesn't it? That brightness, that bright reflection along those facets, that's what sells gemstones. When people look at them and they go flash all over themselves. Blinkle, 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 blink. And so that's why I've been thinking about getting more into those stones that have a bunch of smaller facets. It's like, my stone has 100 and something facets. And I'm all like, how few facets can I make on a stone? Like last week we had that 5-facet prehnite. This thing's got quite a few facets. What are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. This is a 23 facet stone. I like it. I'm happy with it. Just to give you an idea of the size of it, that's about how big it is. That'll happen once a show. Pretty much every show I drop a stone. But, you know, pretty big rupee size gem. It's a nice big fisty gem. You can, you know, hold it and carry it and all that kind of stuff. Why do geologists tell old jokes? 'Cause they dig them up. Oh man, I had an old joke too. I had a joke, like an archaeologist joke. I need to organize my jokes, Thomas. I really do. Because I counted them up, I've got over 1,400 jokes written down. Which reminds me, we need to get to the joke portion because I'm running out of footage. But I wanted to show you this piece of Amazonite, which I got coming up. Oh, Sonny, I also included a little chunk of this Amazonite in there. This is like Chalcedon with turquoise, and it's got these white pockets in it. Not all of it has these white tiger pockets. I've actually been getting some more Amazonite that doesn't have these in it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that it didn't all have this. And so these things are actually pretty cool. But the thing is, they'll catch dirt and oil from my fingers, so then I'll have to take it and use a little soap and wash it. So I was thinking maybe this needs to be treated, like, coated with something so it doesn't get dirty if it was going to be made into jewelry. But I think we're going to be featuring this one in a week or two, a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, something like that. And last but not least, hey, Jeanette Korzenko made it. All right. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for coming by, Jeanette. It's always good to see you. Have fun for peace. Okay, what did I miss? I kid. Why have fun? Have fun for peace. Exactly, and that's no joke, baby. That's just pure beautifulness. Well stated. Let's see. Dari? Yep, sidetractified. Oops, turned out wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Smokey Quartz, you got it, Jeanette. Smoky, champagne, we can tell it either way. Smoky Quartz is usually a little darker. And then there's chocolate quartz, which is usually a little brownier. But I kind of got, I got a fistful of them and little chips, like a little, cuppy fistful of chips. And some of them are points. And that's I was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and work one of them. Make it look good for the show. This is a piece of blue chalcedony. And it's got all this crust on it. It's been slabbed up. But I think I'm going to kind of do a similar thing. Break it down and make it into a piece kind of like this quartz point. There's some clarity in it. I wish I could zoom out a little more. This is about the size of it. And it's got like a crack here. And then it's got some blue zoning up here. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. I was hoping we'd see something under the microscope that would give me a better plan. Let's see if I can shine a flashing light through it. Or, kind of sideways through it. I mean, it's very translucent. But it's not really showing any of the cracks. So, we're going to have to actually... Yeah, there's a lot of cracks in it. I wish I could get it to show under the microscope cam. There we go. There's some of the cracks. All those little white lines. Those little white lines there. Those are all cracks. So there's apparently a lot of cracks in this piece. Maybe we can get it to be beautiful with the cracks in it. Not sure. We're going to have to actually get into it. We'll get after it. Whatever that means. after the microscope portion of the show. But anyway, we're going to be looking at this blue chalcedony a little bit more over the next few weeks as I pull it apart and we try to deduce what we're going to do with it. That's it for the champagne quartz video. What do we have for jokes this week? Give you a little bit of humor, love. Not much. Not many. I got like 5 of them, and one of them is a stretch. But we stretch them out because it's the joke portion of the program. And these are for you, Thomas. And for all of you out there in YouTube land. Ron Weasley and Sonny Gemstones. I said it right that time. and Colette S., and Jeanette Korzenko, and all you beautiful people. I hope I didn't miss anybody. You guys are awesome. And I really appreciate y'all coming by and saying hi, because it really cheers me up. It really does. Cheers me up, gets me charged up to make a good week. See, I'm trying to charge you up so that you have a good week, you know. You got the power to make it a good week. Don't let anybody take that away from you. And so I'm going to try and use that power to make it a good week, right? But having you here to chat with me helps. Helps get me charged up. So you're helping me help others. Think about that. Feel good about that. Eli family showed up. That's who I missed. Totally scrolled past that and didn't even catch it. Eli family 1983 showed up. I gotta stop by Eli's live more often. I don't see him live very often. But I have stopped by and said hi. And I've also stopped in the middle of the joke portion of the program to tell what wasn't a joke. But this is a joke. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Does anybody even know that anymore? No, because 2 bits is 25 cents. You can't get anything for 25 cents. Penny candy costs $1, and a dollar dance costs 20 bucks. What's that all about? Talk about inflation. If you're not limber, you'll go timber. That's why you got to stretch before you exercise. If Santa raises reindeer, does that make him a jolly rancher? Oh, you know what's sweet about Santa? He raises reindeer, which makes him a jolly rancher. I'm not sure about that one. I really want to tie it into the candy. Maybe if you guys got any tips, maybe let me know, because maybe there's a way to work that one out into a good joke. Let's see. Why was the captain given a second boat? Because he performed admirably. Yeah, that one's a stretch. And sure enough, somebody asked me about creative outlets. I don't know much about creative outlets, but the outlets... Okay, we're going to try that one again. Somebody asked me about creative outlets. I don't know a lot about creative outlets, but the outlets in Europe look pretty creative. And so is the joke portion of the program. Alright, let me show you that video about the Gemstone Plant Food. Let's see if I can actually get that to pull up on the show you stuff portion of the program. Gonna go to... Oh, I didn't do why I buy that. I bought cherry juice. Why did I buy that? Why not buy cherry juice? This isn't the regular Juicy Juice cherry juice. This is the Hy-Vee cherry juice. It says just juice. I almost didn't buy it because it's got like a skateboarding character on it, so I was like, there's going to be a lot of sugar in there, which I like my sugar, but I was in the mood for just juice, like 100% juice. And then I looked at it, and it says on the label, 100% juice. And I like the Juicy Juice cherry juice, but I wanted something a little bit different. And so I was like, well, is their cherry juice any different? Maybe it is. Because the cherry juice isn't 100% cherry juice, it's just 100% juice that tastes like cherry. And they get to that percentage because it's like mostly apple juice, pear juice, grape juice, and then they throw in the cherry juice. And actually, I like it. I'm happy with that purchase. That Hy-Vee brand Just Juice cherry juice is very tart, very sweet, very delicious, and I enjoyed it. I'm happy with that purchase. And I wanted something different. I mean, that's basically why I buy that and why I picked what I did. Have you ever bought cherry juice? And why did you buy that? Which one did you pick? And why? Why did you buy that? That's why I buy that. And that's the why I buy that portion of the show. Maybe I can go back to the live scene. How do we pull up Chrome? There we go, Chrome. And then we'll go over to the YouTube studio. Now I'm looking for How to Pepper. Ooh, let's pull it up as a different window. That'll work. That'll work for us. Okay, Chrome, YouTube Studio, Streamlabs chatbot. Nope, not what I'm looking for. How to pepper. There we go. Let's see what it looks like when I turn it on. Boom, right there. All right. So maybe I can explode it up a little bit. This is how to use 22 Gemstones Plant Food on a pepper. You just squeeze it at the base, shake it up and squeeze it out. Usually half a bottle for a pepper plant. Squeeze it right down there at the base. Got my original label on my distribution bottle there. I take the 10x bottles and I split it up. I put a little bit into this bottle, and then I use that to kind of dose it out. And then I wind up getting a higher yield. Instead of just getting a few peppers, I get a lot of peppers. Every branch has lots of peppers on it. There's just peppers all over the place and down at the base. And I've picked a few peppers off of this plant too. And they get to be big and healthy and crunchy. Nice, delicious peppers. And I even got a video showing the difference between some peppers I planted in this raised bed over here. So these 4 peppers have the plant food and these 4 don't. And thanks to the Quad City Food Forest for letting me plant in this raised bed, we had a little bit of a problem in that I couldn't just plant the 8 pepper plants. We had to plant other plants in with them, which threw off the test because sometimes there was a plant over here but not over here. But then I went and I moved them later before the actual test ran through. So it did actually kind of work out. And these in the middle are Brussels sprouts. It kind of takes away from the focus of the pepper plants, but we still got the test to run. Let's see. See, this is probably the best picture of the 4 plants versus the 4 plants. And then they kind of, topped out. And the cool thing about this is this garden's down in an area where people can just go and pick. And so I noticed that the plants were well picked over, which is great. That means that, it served its purpose. I'm not just growing them so that they don't get eaten. I want people to go up there and pick them and eat them and enjoy them. And they did. So it made me feel pretty good. So thank you very much to the Quad City Food Forest. Great group of people. They really get out there and they help. They're helpful people, and they're trying to help everyone have a good week. And that's what we try to do on the show, is to try and help you have a good week every week. And I try to do it at 9 p.m. Eastern. What did I miss? Spackle for crackers. That's what peanut butter is. I use peanut butter as cracker spackle. Spackle for cracks. We're not talking about crackers. We're talking about cracks. Okay, gotcha. Smooth the cracks. Put spackle on them. Ron knows what he's talking about. I saw your pictures, Ron. It looks like you're getting that roof tied together. Everybody check out Ron Weasley's Twitter. He's got some cool things going on over there. And he's freaking awesome. He always retweets and shares and likes. He's a great guy. So wish Ron a great week. We want him to have a good one, just like all of you. Cherry juice gets rid of gout. That is one of my jokes, Colette, is that, around here we can't afford to worry about rich folk diseases. We gotta worry about poor folk diseases like STDs and gout, which is kind of funny because gout is considered the king's disease. It's what you get when you're eating too many processed sausage meats. Organ meats, that's what it is. Tricks is for kids. It furs up it makes them grow beards, right? I got gas and cracked my spackled. Or are we still talking about crackers? I'm not sure. I am totally lost. Squeeze me, baby. Okay, that's what we do when it's time for hugs, on the show. That's That's the chats. I really wish I could pay better attention to the chats. That's what we're going to try and do, is pay better attention to the chats. And we're going to do it this next week. Definitely not this week. But we'll do it next week and every week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Go out there and have a great week, everyone. You are awesome.